What's up, all ye people in the land? So, I just uploaded two of my designs to my creative line designs. So, for those who don't know, Read to Freedom is my apparel and accessories line for the promotion of literacy and in honor of those who fought against anti-literacy laws back when they didn't want black folks to read at all. They would punish, imprison, even kill, okay, people who they saw reading who were black. So, yeah, it was deep. The line is actually in honor of them because without them continuing to push on and fight for rights, um, I wouldn't be here where I am today by the grace of God because God gave them the strength to do it. So my clothing line is basically in honor of them and for the promotion of literacy. And 50% of the proceeds will benefit schools and school children for the promotion of literacy. If you go to readtofreedom.com, you'll see the latest. Now, it's separated, okay? So if I'm going to tell you about it, it's separated. So if you see a circle on a shirt, that's the logo line. That's the logo. It'll be a circle logo. That is the logo for Read to Freedom. And that's just the main logo line. So if people just want a plain shirt with the logo, that's great, you got it. I have a creative line that I'm dropping like different designs for it each weekend. So I just dropped two tonight. One will say, freedom is mine. And the other one is about this abolitionist, the strong abolitionist named David Walker. In short, his mother was free and his father was a slave. So he was born free. And if you don't understand why, it's because the mother, back in the day, the mother basically, it was a womb law. I call it the womb law. The mother basically said if the child was going to be a slave or not based on if she was free or a slave. So if the mother was a slave, your child is born as a slave. No matter what the dad is. The dad can be free, the dad can be a slave. It didn't matter. It's the mother. It was like the womb law. And that was the law in America, okay, during the times of slavery. So if your mother's a slave, you're born a slave, no matter who your dad is. And if your mother's free, then you're free. So it was his case. His mother was free and his dad was a slave. So he ended up free. So he gained a little more benefit, a lot more benefit, but still not technically free to do what he wanted to do because there were laws still, he's black. Fighting for the injustices that America had against, and the law had against black people in America. And of course, those injustices are loads. Just look them up. So yeah, so one of them is in honor of David Walker and for him fighting and actually getting people to read and write and fight for justice. Encourage people to fight for their rights, and do what they have to do to gain rights. So yeah, he was very instrumental in Black history, and he's honored in one of my shirts. So go ahead, and the proceeds, like I said, will benefit 50% of the proceeds will benefit school and school-age children in a variety of ways, mostly in books. Boom. It's like after midnight right now, and I should be in the bed, but I'm not. I'm wearing my wrinkly shirt, actually. The shirt is wrinkled, but I love this shirt. I'm gonna tell y'all, it's from my my other clothing line, Royalty in Black. Let me show it to you. The Sweetest Berry. This is the Sweetest Berry shirt. It was designed by my husband. My husband designed the shirt. This is one of the ones he designed that I was like, oh, I want it ordered for me now. And he was like, all right, I got you. So he got it for me. And yeah, it's one of my favorites. I don't know if I've ever showed it to you. I don't know if I worn it on camera or not, but I didn't iron it, sorry. I sit around the house wrinkly and comfortable. There's no other way to do it. What's up, everybody? I'm online right now. My computer's sitting in front of me, so if you see me glancing down and everything, that's what it is. I woke up this morning to a huge celebration. It was huge online. I don't know what channel I was on. I'm trying to find it right now. Danny Glover and some other people went down to Ghana for the year of return. And it's pretty nice to see what goes on, the big welcome. I saw some dancing. I was like, yeah. They really were doing it up. It was really, really a big, huge celebration. So I wanted to link to that video because it was really long, but I cannot find it anymore. They also have on here where Steve Harvey went to the year of return. And of course, as most African Americans will, have a bunch of emotions, a bunch when they visit. And Steve Harvey, he broke down. You know, if I was to go, I think I've voiced this to someone, I'm not gonna go to the slave castle. And I have tons of reasons for them. I'm not gonna go to that slave castle, but you know, I'm not gonna go too much anywhere where something happened to my folks. And when I say my folks, I'm talking about my African family who I don't really know. I know a couple people, just a couple, but I don't really know. Obviously got hurt and messed up coming over here to America. So nah, I'm not going. I can't do that. I can't do that whole thing. With me, I have a whole bunch of, and I've always been like this, and I'm not quite sure why, but I've always had this thing, this thing since I was a little girl about my ancestors, about my forefathers. Like no. It really gets under my skin. Like, and if I was to go to a slave castle or one of those places where the slave trade took place and everything, my day wouldn't go right. I'm telling you, my day wouldn't go right because I wouldn't cry. I would want to set it aflame. That's just the honest to goodness truth. Okay, I'm not there emotionally yet to go step inside someplace like that and have people talking about it. And this is where, and this is where, and this is where. Welcome home. Bull crap. That ain't no welcome. That's not a welcome. That is not a, no. You're not welcoming me. You're bringing me to some slave. No. That's not gonna cut on that bull. Nah. My whole day messed up. Matter of fact, no. We're not doing that. So you can just bypass that. So that's me on that. But the welcome, like, oh my gosh, that welcome is great. Like, put a huge blanket over that slave castle. If I was to ever go to your return in Ghana. Because to me, that's where it all started. That's where that junk all started. And I'm like, oh, flipping no, flipping not. I got no respect for it. None. Like zero. I ain't got no respect for it. My forefathers wouldn't have no respect for it. If my forefathers could get up out of the grave and take me to that slave castle, they say, burn that crap down. The flip we going back in there for. That's what the flip I think. That's like I can hear the stories. This is what they did to me. This is what they did to me. This is what I hear right now, like in the back of my mind. Like this is what they did to me. This is what they did to me. This is what happened to me here. I'm supposed to like it? Nah. Not B. Nah. That's not B. That's not about to go down. I ain't supposed to be sitting here visiting that place. Not Marika. Not me. Not me. I've seen, and I'm not the only person who feels like that in America, because I was watching this video because there's a plantation in Louisiana, and they still have they won't destroy it because it's just like with the slave castles, it's something that people can come see for historical fact. So they have the slave quarters. There's a whole line like on a whole, and there's the big house or the plantation house. Whoever owned the slaves, their house was pushed way back in the fields, like behind some trees, and that was the big house. And there are these lines of slave cabins, okay, or slave quarters. And I was watching, and then I was watching a black man, a black older man, an elderly man. He was a guide. I don't know if this is the same place. I know it was one of the places where they have slave cabins, but he was a guide to some of the tourists. And when they asked him, "Are you gonna come in?" he said, "No, I can take you to it. I'm not going in." He said, "I'm not." They said, you worked here. You worked here for I guess he's worked there for a number of years. He said, "I don't worked here for a long time. I never went in." And it's just the thing. And I think a lot of African Americans feel like that. Like they'll go to a certain point and then they'll stop. It's not gonna happen. And he was like, I'll never step foot in there. And so I guess me and him, we feel the same way about certain areas. No, thank you. So that's that. But no, it was real cool this year return. Like I'm like really happy for Danny Glover. Danny Glover is one of my favorite actors, and I've been watching him since the Lethal Weapons and the Color Purple and all that. So I mean, he's one of my favorite actors. He's really down for the cause. So yeah, I like it. I'm looking at all the pictures now, and I need to be getting to work. What is that on my face? There's something wrong here. And the reason I say there's something wrong here is because I don't get writer's block that often. And I feel like I have it. I don't even want to call it block because I don't really believe in the block. I'm stuck on chapter 4. I'm going to tell you about some of the characters in the book, though. The characters in the book, they're not what they appear once you pick up the book. When you pick up the book and you start reading the book, you're going to think something else about the characters than what they really are. And that's what I like about it. Every last one of them. But that's real life, though. Because I'm going to tell you, I have known people who you would not think were gangsters, and they were gangsters. I've met people who you would not think they were addicts, and they were. You would just not think because it's not what's in your head. And so that's what's going to be revealed in this book. Throughout the book, that's the overall theme. That's the overall theme of the book. The overall theme is that. All right. I think I might have gave too much up. I'm going to cut that out. Let me cut all of what I said out because I think I just gave the name of the title. If you think about it, I just gave the name of the title, and I don't want to give the name of the title because there's no title out there like this yet. Okay. But yeah. So what I'm gonna be doing today is writing. That's all I'm gonna be doing. It's rainy. It's wet. When I say wet outside, I'm looking out my French doors right now, and it's wet. My sliding door is wet. It rained all night. Thunder, lightning, flashing. As my grandmother would say, the Lord is talking, be still. That's how loud it was last night. So I went to sleep after making a video. That one you just saw? Yeah, that's the one. So I got another question about blogging. Okay, first of all, I am going to blog heavily again, just not right now. All my blogs are set up. They're set up. They're sitting. but they're waiting on me, and I'm just not ready, so they can keep waiting. The main thing about blogging, I've said this before time and time again, and I think that, when I got the question, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now, because too many people are trying to have the same voices as other people. Don't do that. When you are a content creator, you want to create your content, not anyone else's content. Don't do that, because you're mimicking somebody, and you don't want to do that. If I walk out and I start singing like Beyonce, she sounds like Beyonce. That's what they're going to say. She sounds like Beyonce. Why would I want to sound like Beyonce? I want to sound like Marika, okay? So I don't care if my voice is busted, all right? I want everybody to say, that's Marika. That's Marika singing. She sings like that. She always does that. That's what you want to create when you are a content creator or a blogger. You do not want to sound like CNN. There's one CNN. You do not want to sound like TMZ. There's one TMZ. They have their voice. Get yours. That's one of the keys to having a successful blog or running a successful blog. If you can't sound like yourself, don't forget it, because it's not gonna take off. You might get some people who read it, but forget it. It's not gonna take off. I don't care what you do. Just forget it, because you're not authentic. And people, regardless of what you think, or regardless of how great you act, or regardless of how great your persona is, they know when you faking. They know when you're faking. So the best thing is to do that. That's one of the key things that'll make your blog successful. So yeah. If I could tell you anything, and just do it all the time. All right. I get these questions constantly about blogging, because that's what I did. I was content creator for four, and way back in the day. One of them still open. I shut everything down. Literally, I took down all the posts, and because I just didn't want to do it anymore, and I didn't want to leave up the post either. And I didn't want to sell my blogs either, because I didn't know what was going to happen later on if I wanted to re-up it. And I can re-up it anytime I want to. But you have to have, number one, you have to have confidence when you're blogging. You have to be able to take criticism. You have to be able to, who cares if somebody doesn't like you, bump them. You know what I'm saying? God didn't put you here to care about that. Okay? There's nowhere in the Bible where it says, okay, care about who likes you today. All right, so that's all. You just want to be able to sleep at night. So don't do anything or write about anything that really truly isn't you. Okay, because you're not going to be happy with yourself if you're going out there dogging people just to make a buck. You just don't want to do that. There was a time I put down some wrong information about somebody, and I went right back on my blog and I apologized, and I said this, because I don't like to do that. I like to come from me, and I definitely don't like to put out any wrong information about people, and I will immediately apologize. So you always have to make sure that you are yourself, and you don't try and become someone else. But that's the key thing about blogging. And I was going to open up a Patreon to tell people how to set up a blog and do those things and succeed in it within a year. And I still may. So be looking out for that, because I still may. A lot of people actually wanted it. I didn't realize a lot of people still want to do that. So I was like, okay, so I'll go ahead, because I did earn income like that. And you can earn lots of income like that. College students can earn income like that. That's really good for a college student. If you have an angle, I would do it. Why not? You're going to be in front of a computer anyway. You may as well. All right, so I'm gone. I have to write and do things today, like wash a load of clothes. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully I can finish this book this weekend. Y'all gotta pray for me, because I really do need to get this book out. Make sure last night when it was all late and stuff and I had my rag on my head, I want you guys to go to Read to Freedom. I'm gonna be releasing some more designs real soon, okay? So and like I told you before, 50% of the proceeds will benefit schools and school children. So if you care about the future, if you care about what they learn, because here's the thing, the government has what they want to teach us. They already have it in the curriculum. Therefore, we have to go above and beyond to get them what we feel they need to learn as well, because they're not gonna get it all in school, and so they're not gonna be taught all the time as well as you think they'll be taught in school. So, and that's across the board, from learning cursive writing, which they stopped teaching, to even telling time on a, what you call the clocks, the analog or the manual clocks. A lot of people don't know how to do that. You know, there's just different things that in history, Black history, a lot of that, it'll go by the wayside if we don't. And then a lot of that comes through books, and so that's why a lot of half of the proceeds will benefit schools and school children, because what children learn, they tend to apply to their lives at some point. And you need to know your history to know where you're going in the future, period. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna roll out. Bye.